Hi, my name is Ariana and welcome to Cosplay Sewing School. Today we are going to be making pattern weights from really inexpensive washers that you can find at the hardware store. So get ready, stay tuned because we're going to be doing something fun on the cheap. Today we are going to learn how to make pattern weights. In order to make these pattern weights, what you need are some washers. I buy these at Home Depot. You can buy them at wherever hardware store you want. They're just big washers. You can use whichever size you like. They're not very expensive and they work really well for what we're doing. You need some duct tape. I like to use different colors because you can see that better on different kinds of fabric. And a pair of scissors, not your sewing scissors. First thing you're going to do is pull open a line of duct tape. I tear it off. You don't have to tear it off. You can use your scissors to do that. I'm just that way. That's just the way I do things. So you produce a line of duct tape. Just kind of fold it under and stick it to your table. It'll be a little sticky on your fingers, and that's okay. So then the next thing that you do is you can take these washers. You can make a single, just like that, which will give you one weight, not a bad weight at all. Great for using for lighter items. Or you can make a double. The first thing I'm going to show you is to make a single. So to make a single, just place your washers just, a few fingers apart. Don't stick it to your fingers. Probably about 2 inches actually. And put them across your duct tape here. You can put them almost to the edge, but just not quite. We need enough space to push in between them. Then you're going to get a second line of duct tape, and you can just roughly measure it off. You can get a second line of duct tape, and then you just roughly measure it off to be about the same length as your first, and place it carefully over, aligning the top and bottom of your duct tape. So now what we're going to do is push down. You'll start to see the outlines of your washers. So we're just going to push down to connect those two pieces of duct tape. Then I'm going to push in the middle on each of these. Next step is to remove them from your board, and we're just going to cut them apart roughly just to get them separated. We can go ahead and finish smooshing down the edges. I like to use the word smooshing. And cut in a circle around the edge to remove the excess. And we don't have to do that super careful. You can do it however you like. I just get a rough edge. And don't worry about that edge. We're going to cover that in a second. Now, you could use these washers without covering them in duct tape. I don't like the way they smell, and I don't like the way that they feel on my fabric, so I like to cover them. You could just use them plain and simple. Be a real cheap and easy pattern weight. And pattern weights are typically quite expensive. Off those edges, we're going to take a small piece of duct tape. It's going to end up going around the circle, so you need enough length to get around the edge of that. We're going to tear it off. Then we're going to cut it in half. Now, I like to tear in half. You can cut in half, whichever you like. I'm going to just stick one edge to the end of my table here. I'm going to take another one like this. So to do this, we're going to just put that right along that edge and just gently go around until we have something that looks like that. You can remove the excess with the scissors or by tearing. Hopefully not get too many strings. Then once you've removed the excess, you can start pushing down those lips. And this just gives a nice finished edge. Again, these are steps you don't have to take, but I like to take them. So that completes a single. To make a double, go ahead and pull a line of duct tape, similar to the way we did on the first, and fold it under and get it stuck to our table. Now I do this on my cutting mats because I can clean those up. I would not do this on a table surface that you generally love. That would possibly mess up your surface. So we'll go ahead and place these like we did before, just across here. And then we're going to go back and put a second one on top of each of these. Oops, there we go. To finish this, we're going to put a line of duct tape. Now you may want this a little longer than your other piece here. And we're going to put that, lining it up on top. Now these are going to move around on you just a little bit, so we're going to capture those in between by pressing those down. Now duct tape stretches, which is why I use it for this. And then we can go ahead and smoosh down the edges and cut them apart the same way we did before. So that one is a good example of when they don't get lined up. You can just kind of push it, and they don't have to be perfectly lined up. Just put that one off to the side. There's the second one. And we will go through these other two quickly here. And the duct tape, of course, is going to stick to your scissors, so you just want to pull that off. Now, when this is all done, you can clean your scissors up with acetone, some rubbing alcohol, whatever you have around that can clean up this glue from the duct tape, because it will make your scissors kind of sticky. I use these for cutting paper too, so I'll probably clean those up when I am done. So similarly to the first set that we did, we are going to take a length of duct tape that will fit around that circle. Separate it in half. Placing it on the edge again and stretching it around the circle. And we will overlap that slightly and remove the excess. And fold those in. Now we have pattern weights. So you can repeat this process for as many weights as you like. You can do them in any colors you like. I like to use sometimes really fun duct tape, so whatever you find at the store. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoy your pattern weights and have some fun shopping at the hardware store. Thanks, and keep sewing.